if George Herbert Walker Bush had not stood up for the billionaire Emir of Kuwait and helped the Emir's what is the daughter, the Emir, it was the daughter of the ambassador, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the Kuwaiti ambassador who lied to Congress and said that she was a nurse and that she saw babies being thrown out of their bassinets or out of their incubators in Kuwait, which caused Congress to say, okay, George Herbert Walker Bush, you can go in there and kick Saddam's butt. If we had never done that, and then Bill Clinton hadn't maintained 8 years of a no-fly zone and sanctions that forbade Saddam from buying chlorine to chlorinate the water. Iraq gets their water supply, particularly the big city Baghdad, gets their water supply from the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, which are badly polluted. People who drink that water get dysentery, continual diarrhea, which leads to dehydration, malnutrition, and death. 500,000 Iraqi children are most vulnerable to dysentery because their body has a small mass. So if they lose a fair amount of water over a short period of time, they die from dehydration. For an adult, it's a lot harder to kill an adult with dehydration because, adults have so much more body mass. There's so much more water in our bodies. 500,000 children were killed during the Clinton years because of the sanctions on Iraq. And then George W. Bush comes in and goes in and basically levels the country. If none of that had happened, there would be no ISIS right now. The world would be a very different place. There probably would be no Al-Qaeda. And when you think about it, that's how drastic, that's how horrible, how horrific the outcome of war is. And every single one of these wars have been sold to us by the war hawks. Oh, let's go into Kuwait and help kick out Saddam. Saddam's a bad guy. Nobody's talking about, is the Emir of Kuwait any good? Well, yeah, they kill people in Kuwait too, and they imprison people who speak out against the Emir, and it's not a liberal democracy. It's a dictatorship. The only difference between the dictatorship in Iraq and the dictatorship in Kuwait was that, George Herbert Walker Bush and the Carlyle Group and all these guys, they're all making money off Kuwait. Or maybe not. I believe so. Kuwait is a major supplier of oil. Now we've got Bill Kristol saying, okay, let's just go bomb ISIS. Let's just take them out. What's that going to take? 800,000 troops? If you really want to do it? We're talking about World War III. If you really want to do that? And how long are we going to have to occupy? Well, how long did we occupy the Middle East before? We being European powers. For what, a century and a half? 2 centuries? 3 centuries? 5 centuries? When were the Crusades? It was, 1100, 1130, something like that? I'm forgetting the years, but this is crazy. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.